Ross, big homie. First of all, you know it love. Second of all, I got to call a spade when it's a spade. You say you did it for free. Everybody do it for free.
Use the restroom one time and I'm gonna take this jacket off.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you can't.
Man, stay tuned.
You can't take your foot off for nothing.
All gas.
Oh, I'm talking about for life.
Be mindful. You may never know who knows somebody, who kin to somebody, who saw what you posted. Because you're going to have to stand on this.
The whispers about Rick Ross and Sean's so-called soap parties aren't whispers anymore. They've exploded into full-blown controversy backed by footage. It all started when DC Youngfly dropped a blurred clip online that looked harmless at first, until fans started connecting the dots. The strict no-phone policy, the heavy NDAs, and that mandatory all-white dress code. That wasn't about style, it was about silence. It looked like the perfect setup to keep whatever went down behind those walls locked away forever. And here's where it gets crazy. Ross is right there on camera, standing shoulder to shoulder with Sean. The clip goes back about 3 years to when Ross appeared on the 85 South show with DC Youngfly, Carlos Miller, and Chico Bean. Everything started lighthearted. Ross was joking, laughing, chilling like it was just another fun interview. But fans noticed something shift the moment Sean's name came up. Ross suddenly got defensive. His whole vibe changed like the air got heavy. He dodged questions, his laughter turned nervous, and people watching later swore he looked like a man trying to hide something. Now that this old, blurry video has resurfaced, fans are putting the puzzle together. They claim Ross wasn't just a random guest at Sean's secretive parties. He was a regular. With all the secrecy, those NDAs, and the no recording policy, people believe these weren't innocent gatherings.
Dawn, you know what I'm saying? So it's just,
Then you
we could have those debates, we really could.
Teflon was off the chain.
I mean,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
But I like the way
It was a
you
different
followed up
time.
hustling with pushing it. Like, how did you know to come right back on their ass?
You got to.
Right.
Man, just don't take the foot off the gas.
They were calculated events where only insiders knew the real deal, and Ross being caught on tape? That just reignited a fire that's been smoldering for years. During that same 85 South show appearance, things took a left turn out of nowhere. While Ross was sitting on the couch with DC Youngfly, Carlos, and Chico, laughing 1 minute, he suddenly stood up and walked out. No goodbye, no wrap-up, no thanks for having me, just poof.
Use the restroom one time and I'm gonna take this jacket off.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you can't.
Man, stay tuned.
You can't take your foot off for nothing.
All gas.
Oh, I'm talking about for life.
Gone. 1 second he's in mid-conversation, the next he's out the door saying, I'm gonna use the restroom one time and take this jacket off. But here's the kicker. He never came back. Fans online were confused, replaying the clip, trying to figure out what triggered it. Ross later tried to clean it up, saying it was just a scheduling conflict. But DC wasn't buying that for a second.
Okay, I'm gonna say first of all, I don't give a
Yeah, I get it.
but I give a because
Try to make it bad.
with you as a person.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before, okay, let's just say before all that happened, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say before all that happened. Bro, I'm listening to you, Ross. I
Yeah.
feel like you wanted to, hey, shut the up. I'm listening to you, Ross. I feel like you probably one of the best lyricists from the South that we got. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you poetic, bro. When I listen to your music, I think you put a lot of time and effort into this.
Yeah.
So the moment you lead our show, you went and did a podcast, a white podcast. You sat your ass right there for almost 2 hours.
And didn't leave.
And you talk. And the white folk asked your ass, was you a correctional officer?
Yeah.
We would have never asked you no that, nigga. We got respect for you.
Right.
And you sat right there and you answered that question so eloquently.
Right.
Eloquently.
Yeah,
you got it.
right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a later interview, he called Ross's excuse straight up false, saying there was no calendar clash, no emergency. Ross just bailed. And while DC still gave Ross his flowers for being one of the South's best lyricists, he didn't hold back about how embarrassing that walkout was in front of a live crowd.
Bro, listen, man. I came to your podcast. I came for free, homie, no charge. I did it on face, homie. I didn't ask you what your analytics was and this and that. I came on face, homie, to show love. And don't make it like I walked off on you. I left early. Rose had some other things to do too. But guess what? I came for free.
DC said it plain. I ain't gonna lie, Ross, you poetic bro. I listen to your music. You one of the best from the South. But the moment you left our show, you went to another podcast.
The next time I come for free, at least have me some lemon pepper wing stop at that. You heard me? But I came for free. I ain't charge you. You feel me? Don't talk about Rose other business. I came and did that for free. And what is the analytics? How the show doing anyway, man? I come back on it, and when I'm gonna walk off that the next time, and this bitch say, Rose, what was I doing? Of course.
A white podcast, and sat there for 2 hours answering questions we would have never even asked you out of respect.
Ross, big homie. First of all, you know it love. Second of all, I got to call a spade when it's a spade. You say you did it for free. Everybody do it for free, Ross. You ain't the only nigga who did it for free. T.I. do it for free. Busta Rhymes did it for free. Snoop Dogg did it for free. Everybody who sat on that couch do it for free.
That hit people hard because he wasn't wrong. Ross had no problem opening up there, even answering questions about being a correctional officer, something he always avoided in black media.
Now, that wasn't the biggest moment. Now, that's one of the viral moments, but Boosie, episode 8 million. Got Country Wayne, shit like 6, 7 million. Like, we do numbers, we do analytics. Our analytics, we was the biggest before you came, and we was the biggest afterwards. So you always got room to come back to be on the biggest podcast in the world, correct? You dig what I'm saying? But when you call a spade, it get.
So when DC pointed that out, fans knew exactly what he was implying. Ross didn't walk out because of scheduling. He walked out because he didn't want to face real questions, the kind that can't be edited out or brushed off with a laugh. People online said Ross bolted the moment the conversation got too real, especially with all the chatter about those secret soap parties with Sean. Then Ross decided to address the situation online, but instead of clearing his name, he made things worse. He went live, talking about how he came for free, saying, "Next time I come, at least have me some lemon pepper wings. Stop playing like that. I came for free, no charge." But instead of sounding confident, it sounded defensive. DC fired back again, saying, "First of all, big homie, everybody comes for free. Ross, you ain't the only one. Ty did it for free. Snoop did it for free. Everybody who sat on that couch did it out of love."
But you didn't eat it. And we respect when shit to do, bro. Just tell us as soon as you come in, "Hey, little homies, I got an hour." Bet we gonna try to get you in. Man, we gonna try to get you in about 45 minutes so you can make it to your next destination. Don't pull up, act like you doing us a favor, and then just leave up without saying something. Just say something so we can know what's going on, gang. We ain't tripping. We'll push back up. Your team, we called your team. We called the person who we called when you was on the way. Guess what they said? We don't know where he.
He wasn't about to let Ross twist the story like he did them some favor, and that's when it got personal. DC reminded him, "We were the biggest podcast before you came, and we still the biggest after you left." He even mentioned their episode with Country Wayne pulling over 67 million views. That was a clear message. Ross didn't make their show, and his walkout didn't break it either. Then came the real bombshell. DC revealed there were over 200 people backstage that night, all witnesses to Ross dipping early. That one line blew up the internet.
Come to the Ricky Rose estate, August 2nd for the pool party. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna DM my DC Young Fly, tell him come out there. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? It's gonna be a vibe. August 2nd, hosted by DC Young Fly.
Fans started dissecting every single second of that clip like detectives. They replayed Ross's body language, his tone, even his eye movements. And the more they watched, the more convinced they became that Ross wasn't running from a bad interview. He was running from the truth. People started linking it back to those all-white parties, wondering if maybe Ross had something to hide from his past association with Sean. They said his sudden exit, his shaky explanation, and that strange defensive energy all pointed to one thing: guilt. Since then, Ross has tried to laugh it off, acting like people are just overreacting, but fans aren't letting it go. Too many coincidences, too many stories lining up. Between the NDAs, the blurred footage, and that awkward 85 South show meltdown, this isn't just gossip anymore. It's a timeline, and Ross is right in the center of it. Fans were convinced that Ross's sudden exit had nothing to do with time. It was about dodging heat, and DC Young Fly made that clear when he pulled the curtain back on the whole act. He said, "Bro, we respect when people got things to do, but just tell us up front. Say you got an hour, we'll work with that. Don't act like you're doing us a favor, pull up, and then dip out without saying a word. That's not respect, that's ego." DC even revealed that his team reached out to Ross's people after the walkout, and they straight up said, "We don't know where he went." That one line changed everything, because if Ross really had somewhere to be, how come his own team didn't even know about it? Fans couldn't ignore the obvious. Something about that night didn't add up. The biggest question now was simple. Why did Ross vanish in the first place? People couldn't shake the feeling that his ties to Sean ran deeper than just collabs and industry friendships. The timing of everything looked too suspicious. And when Ross suddenly began distancing himself from certain names, people started wondering, what really went down behind the scenes? That's when DC threw gasoline on the fire. Out of nowhere, he dropped a blurred-out clip that looked like it came straight from one of Ross's legendary all-white private parties at his massive Promised Land estate. But this wasn't your average pool party. It looked like something out of a secret society movie. Guests were signing NDAs, phones were confiscated at the door, and the place was covered in thick clouds of foam so heavy you could barely see anything on camera. And the timing? Suspicious as ever. DC posted that footage right after Ross went online bragging about another huge pool party coming up on August 2nd, even claiming DC himself would be hosting it. "Come to the Ricky Rose estate August 2nd for the pool party," Ross said on live. "I'ma DM my boy DC Young Fly, tell him to come out here. It's gonna be a vibe." That one video sent fans spiraling. Suddenly, everyone started looking sideways at celebrity pool parties, especially after all those disturbing stories about Sean's events started resurfacing. Nothing was being brushed off anymore. Receipts were being dug up, screenshots reappeared, and people started re-examining Ross's old lyrics. One line in particular from 2013 caught everyone's attention again, when he rapped about slipping something into a woman's champagne. Back then, it cost him endorsement deals and almost destroyed his reputation. But now people were saying maybe that lyric wasn't just reckless. Maybe it hinted at a darker truth. And of course, 50 Cent couldn't resist stepping in. He teased that his upcoming documentary on Sean would expose hidden bottles, hidden parties, and people who said they couldn't remember the nights. At the time, everyone laughed it off as classic trolling. But now, those words sound like breadcrumbs, leading to something way darker. Once DC's clip started spreading, fans began slowing it down frame by frame. And that's when things got weird. In one frozen shot, viewers noticed a mysterious guest nobody could identify. They weren't seen arriving with Ross or leaving with Sean, but they stood out wearing a metallic bracelet with a strange engraved emblem. Fans started comparing it to paparazzi photos of someone rumored to be part of Sean's secret inner circle. That single discovery reignited a whole wave of old whispers. Then people remembered a wild 2018 incident at Trump National Doral, where a man named Jonathan Audi went viral for a meltdown during questioning. He claimed he was being controlled by Sean's circle and even mentioned Ross's name, linking him to strange, ritual-like gatherings. At the time, everyone thought he was just talking nonsense. But now, with all these new revelations, folks are revisiting everything he said. Clips of Jonathan resurfaced, showing him ranting about being manipulated and trapped under secret contracts. He said, "They made it into dance, basically what it means, illuminated. They do ritual-type stuff, mind control, to their families, to kids, all of it. That's how they bond." He even mentioned shadowy groups like Bohemian Grove and something he called the Black Branch of the Illuminati. Back then, people rolled their eyes and scrolled past it. But after DC's footage dropped, that same clip started circulating again, this time with millions of new views. Fans began to wonder if maybe, just maybe, Jonathan wasn't as delusional as people once thought. Could these secret parties have deeper layers than anyone realized? And was Ross's sudden walkout connected to something bigger? Something he didn't want spilling out on camera? Now, what started as a viral walkout has turned into a massive online investigation. and every blurred frame, every lyric, and every old interview is being reanalyzed. One thing's for sure, whatever's going on behind those exclusive parties isn't staying hidden much longer. At the time, all of this sounded like wild science fiction. People brushed off Jonathan's claims as the ramblings of someone chasing attention, but now, after Cassie's lawsuit, after leaked clips from so-called private gatherings, after multiple confirmed NDAs, the internet is looking at Jonathan's old footage like it's a roadmap. What once felt like chaos now reads like a manual of how things really move behind the scenes. He didn't just accuse Sean. He claimed Ross had his own quiet agenda, working behind the curtain with powerful lawyers and big-name industry players to keep everything sealed tight. One name Jonathan kept repeating was Kenny, a high-level attorney who allegedly specialized in shielding celebrities from fallout. Then came the quote that still sends chills. That's why they had Chiwak killed, because when they do it, fame comes, sales go up, and records move faster. That's how they do it. At first, everyone dismissed it as nonsense, but things got eerie when people remembered that during Ross's BET Lifetime Achievement Award speech, he actually thanked someone named Kenny Zeiss on live television. Ross said, "I thank my brother Hall Pierre Kenny," as millions watched. Nobody thought much of it at the time, but now, that clip gets slowed down, replayed, and passed around like a clue in a conspiracy board. Fans started drawing lines. Jonathan's talk of NDAs, secret tapes, rituals, and hidden gatherings all seem to echo too perfectly with what's now coming to light. Those infamous soap parties that once sounded like harmless fun, they're now being looked at like coded initiations. The foam, the all-white dress code, the no-phone rule, everything that once looked like luxury now screams control, and it only gets weirder. Old footage is resurfacing, showing Sean and Ross, shoulder to shoulder, both covered in foam, laughing while washing cars like it's a joke. But now, seen through today's lens, that moment doesn't feel so innocent anymore. In one clip, Ross casually joked, "You know that tip's gonna be good." It sounded like harmless banter back then, just him clowning around. But after months of speculation about freak-offs and coded events, fans are rewatching that same line like it's secret language, a wink between insiders. It's wild how a laugh can start sounding like a confession once the context changes. Things really exploded when DC Young Fly dropped that blurred foam party clip. You could barely see anything, faces hidden, light flashing, but the timing of the post made it feel like a message. He posted it right after Ross bragged online about hosting another legendary pool bash on August 2nd, and even claimed DC would be there hosting. To the internet, that wasn't coincidence. That was a shot fired. The conversation quickly shifted from footage to loyalty, trust, and betrayal. That's when DC went live again. But this time, his energy was different. He wasn't cracking jokes or doing his usual banter. His voice cracked, his eyes glistened. And he admitted something deep. Somebody close to him had been moving funny behind the scenes. He didn't name names, but his pain said everything. This wasn't about random trolls. This was betrayal from within his own circle. The live shook everyone. DC said, "You think social media gives you power to talk wild without getting checked? You post it, delete it, retype it, thinking it's safe? But the old law still applies. Stand on what you say." That was the warning shot. He reminded people that no matter how digital the world gets, there's still a real-world consequence waiting behind disrespect. And then he said it clear as day. Law is still in effect. Be mindful. Somebody always knows somebody who saw what you posted. You might have to stand on business, and somebody might smack you in the mouth. That line became a cultural moment overnight. It wasn't just about pride. It was about boundaries in an industry where people think fame makes them untouchable. But what really got people's attention was who DC's message might have been aimed at. Everyone started speculating. Could he have been talking about Ross? The tension was too perfectly timed. Remember, DC isn't just another internet comedian. He's been inside those same buildings, shaking hands with the same power players now being accused of the darkest things in the game. There's footage of him and the whole 85 South crew at Combs Enterprises pitching ideas directly to Revolt. Word on the street is that Sean himself once personally called DC to headline a comedy event. That's how deep he was in the mix. And that's when the whispers turned chilling. Insiders started saying it wasn't just about what happened at those foam parties. It was about how much was recorded. Every room, every hallway, every corner supposedly wired with hidden cameras. Not for memories or laughs, but for leverage, for control. The foam wasn't just decoration, it was cover, a visual fog to blur whatever the cameras might capture behind the scenes. So when DC dropped that blurred footage, fans didn't see a joke. They saw a warning shot, a message saying, "Your free pass is over, the truth's coming out." Suddenly, those playful soap jokes Ross used to crack didn't sound lighthearted anymore. The laughter had turned into static. People weren't hearing jokes, they were hearing secrets wrapped in metaphors. And that's when the emails started flying. Not messy DMs, we're talking polished, official-looking legal notices. Language like defamatory, mischaracterizing an event, and potential reputational harm. Platforms began flagging videos, muting audio, deleting posts. Even captions using the word alleged got hit with warnings. But here's what made it suspicious. Those notices never actually denied anything. No one said the people in the clip weren't there. No one denied the NDAs. No one denied the bracelet or the party itself. The silence said more than any denial could. The point wasn't to disprove, it was to delay, to stall, to intimidate, and it worked. Some platforms cracked down hard, pulling anything connected to the footage. But DC's not built like that. He's no random gossip blogger with no backup. He's got a loyal fan base that rides with him through every storm. That same blurred clip is still floating around, being reshared under new titles, hidden in private channels, mirrored in archives. Every day, more people are catching glimpses. Meanwhile, Ross is online acting unbothered, posting cars, food, new ventures, laughing like nothing's happening. But the streets aren't fooled. The talk is that a full-length version of the clip exists. A longer, uncut version sitting in someone's private files. If that footage ever surfaces, it won't just be foam and shadows. It'll be clear faces, exact moments, and every detail frozen in time. And that's the moment that could flip this whole story on its head. Because once that tape drops, no amount of NDAs or legal letters will be enough to bury it. So what happens if it leaks? Does it end careers or expose a side of the industry nobody was ever meant to see? Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think is really going on behind those blurred clips and cryptic jokes? Do you think the truth will ever see daylight? Drop a comment, hit like, subscribe, and share your theories. Because this story is only heating up and the next chapter might just change everything. See you in the next one, my stars and hushers.